They say a GT3 belongs on the track, but I've spent 3 years using this track weapon as a grocery getter and daily commuter. We're breaking down the total 36-month ownership costs to see if the depreciation and maintenance actually kill the experience. The final bottom line will surprise you. Let's start with the raw truth staring me in the face every time I open the garage. 30,012 kilometers on the odometer. That's 10,000 kilometers a year, almost exactly. When I took delivery in early 2023, the car had 47 kilometers on it, basically factory fresh. I still remember the first cold start. That 4-liter flat 6 barked to life like it was angry at the world, then settled into this razor-sharp idle that made the whole car feel alive. 3 years and 1,000 cold starts later, it still does the same thing. No rattles, no hesitation, no check engine lights. The motorsport DNA didn't magically disappear just because I started using it to pick up milk and drop the kids at school. Fuel consumption? Brutal, but predictable. Over the full 36 months, I averaged 13.8 liters per 100 kilometers combined. That's roughly 17 mpg US in real-world mixed driving. City traffic and Chittagong heat, 120 km/h highway cruising, and the occasional enthusiastic pull through the gears. In pure city stop-go, it would spike to 18 to 19 liters per 100 kilometers. On long highway runs with the wing in the low position and cruise at 110 km/h, I could see 11.2 liters per 100 kilometers. Not bad for a car that revs to 9,000 RPM and weighs under 1,450 kilograms. Premium 98 octane prices have been all over the place. In 2023, I was paying around 135 to 145 BDT per liter locally, roughly $1.15 to $1.25 USD equivalent after conversion. By mid-2025, it climbed to 158 BDT, then settled back a bit in 2026. Total fuel spend over 36 months, $4,920 USD equivalent. That's about $137 a month to keep this thing moving. Expensive? Sure, but when you factor in the smile every single time I turn the key, it starts to feel like the cheapest therapy on the planet. The engine itself still sounds exactly like it did on day one. The dry sump 4-liter doesn't care that it's been idling in 35 degrees Celsius traffic for 20 minutes before I even leave the driveway. Oil consumption has been negligible, barely a liter top-up in 3 years. The PDK, yes, I went PDK for daily sanity, shifts as crisply as ever. Cold starts and winter mornings still make the neighbors look twice. This thing was built for 24-hour endurance racing, and it turns out it's perfectly happy doing the school run.
Here's where the GT3 starts reminding you it's not a Camry. Tires first. I'm on Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2s, the N0 spec ones Porsche homologated for the car. These are not touring tires. They are semi-slick track weapons that happen to be street legal. In a pure track environment, they last forever. In daily driving, not so much. Set 1, original, lasted 9,800 kilometers before the rears were down to 330 seconds and the fronts were squared off from all the stoplight launches. Set 2, 10,400 kilometers, I was a little gentler. Set 3, 9,600 kilometers, and I just swapped them last month. 3 full sets, $3,250 per set installed with balancing, TPMS reset, and alignment. Porsche spec only, of course. Total bill for tires, $9,750. That's $271 a month just to keep rubber on the road. Ouch. But here's the thing. Even at 330 seconds, the Cup 2s still stopped shorter and turned in harder than any all-season tire I've ever tried. The grip in the wet is still shocking for how little tread is left. I'll take the cost. Brakes. I spec'd PCCB carbon ceramics from the factory. Best decision I ever made for a daily driver.
After 30,000 kilometers, the discs still look brand new. Zero warping, zero judder, and basically zero dust. Pads are down maybe 30%. If I keep this pace, the first pad change won't happen until 70 to 80,000 kilometers. Steel brakes would have been cheaper up front, but I'd be on my second or third set of pads and rotors by now, plus cleaning the wheels every weekend. PCCB wins for a commuter GT3.
Little things add up too. Windshield wipers, $280 a set, replaced twice. Cabin filter, $185 every year because the city air is brutal. Cabin air filter, pollen filter, whatever you call it. Porsche charges like it's made of gold. Total Porsche tax on consumables, another $1,450 over 3 years. It stings, but it's part of the ownership experience. Porsche's service schedule for the 992 GT3 is actually pretty relaxed. Annual oil service, or every 10,000 miles, 16,000 kilometers, whichever comes first, plus a bigger 2-year, 20,000-mile major. Year 1, 10K kilometers, basic oil filter service plus inspection, $1,420. Year 2, 20K kilometers, major service, spark plugs, brake fluid flush, air filters, full inspection, software updates, $3,680. Labor rates in 2025-2026 have climbed. My dealer is now charging $185 per hour. Year 3, 30K kilometers, another annual, $1,550. Total scheduled maintenance, $6,650 over 36 months. Not cheap, but not the horror story some forums paint. The car has been ridiculously reliable. The only mechanical surprise was the front axle lift system sensor failing at 21,000 kilometers, a $920 repair including labor. Apparently road salt and monsoon flooding don't agree with the delicate height sensors. I also had 2 stone chips in the windshield that required a full PPF section repair to keep the front looking perfect, another $1,350. Detailing and paint protection, I'm religious about it because resale matters. Full ceramic refresh every 6 months. $650 times 6 equals $3,900. Worth every penny when the car still looks 95% new after 3 hard years. So all running costs excluding depreciation: fuel $4,920, tires $9,750, maintenance $6,650, surprises and misc $7,120 equals $28,440 over 36 months, roughly $790 per month or 95 cents per kilometer.
This is the part everyone obsesses over. Original MSRP in 2023 was $171,150 base, with options PCCB, front lift, Sport Chrono, Club Sport bucket seats, manual, wait, I actually went PDK for daily duty, plus YSAC light bits, and the allocation premium I paid. My all-in number was $218,500 out the door. Today, February 2026, a clean 2023 992 GT3 with 30,000 kilometers is trading in the $198,000 to $212,000 range, depending on spec and color. Mine, with full service history, PCCB, and recent tires, is conservatively worth $205,000 private party or $198,000 trade-in. Depreciation hit $13,500 over 3 years. That's it. Yes, you read that right. Less than $375 per month to own one of the last pure analog 911 GT3s while the world switches to hybrids and turbos. The scarcity curve is real. The 992.1 GT3 is already becoming a modern classic. Low-mile examples with under 5,000 kilometers are asking $270K plus. High mileage, for a GT3 cars, like mine, are holding 93 to 94% of original value after 30,000 kilometers of actual use. That's insane. Cost per kilometer including depreciation, $28,440 running, plus plus 13,500 dep equals $41,940 total, divided by 30,000 kilometers equals $1.40 per kilometer, or about $1,165 per month all in.
So is it worth it? If you look at the spreadsheet in cold, hard numbers, $1,165 a month for a car that makes every single drive feel like a special occasion is actually pretty reasonable for what you're getting. A loaded 992 Carrera GTS daily driver would probably cost you $800 to $900 a month all in and wouldn't make you grin like an idiot every time you heel-toe downshift. The surprise? The depreciation didn't kill the experience, it barely showed up. The tires are the real killer, but even then, I'd rather replace Cup 2s every 10k kilometers than drive something boring. This car has been to the grocery store more times than most GT3s see track days. It's survived monsoons, potholes, and 3 years of me treating it like a Toyota, and it still feels brand new. The 992 GT3 wasn't designed to be a daily, but damn if it isn't one of the best ones I've ever owned. If you've been sitting on the fence wondering whether these cars are too fragile or too expensive to use every day, they're not. They're built like tanks that happen to dance like ballerinas. Would I do it again? In a heartbeat. In fact, I already know which 992.2 GT3 Touring I'm eyeing for when this one eventually gets too special to daily. Thanks for watching. Drop your own iDaily track car stories in the comments. I read every single one. If you want the full Excel breakdown with every receipt scanned, link in the description. And if this video helped you justify your next stupidly fun purchase, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Drive fast, take care, and remember, the best cars aren't the ones that sit in garages, they're the ones that get used.